who is here with us, please come to us, please. We're so happy to see you here. Introduce yourself, please.
My name is Bojan Dakić, I'm from Serbia. My movie is White Daughter-in-Law, about Roma community, and in this movie is opposite case, like Tanya said, yes?
Yeah.
English is not my best side, sorry. So, the film is a part of the documentary series. And if you got a question,
I have a question.
Okay.
How you know about this story? Because this is not your relatives, as I understood. Yeah. How do you know about the story and how you come to this point to make a film about this?
In our researching team, we have Roma people, two main journalists, and in this case, it's a member of that family. It's also member of researching team. Yes.
And also, I want to ask about the protagonist. It's already we understand that the woman, she moved to the town and she continued to work, right?
Yes.
But what's happened with her daughter after? Till now she didn't get education, right?
No, she didn't get education, but she's married with 16 years with her own will. And Roma people is strange about that. And young people today from Roma community likes to do tradition on the old way. Not everybody, but like 50-50.
And also tell me how it's going now, because in 17th and 18th years it is like it was more conservative. Is it make more, soft?
Soft.
Yes, softer.
This case was a first big case in Vojvodina. Vojvodina is part of Serbia. And after that case, everything is softer for mixed marriage. And today we got a better conditions for the mixed marriages. Yes.
Also, tell me how Serbian people. I know Vojvodina is so multicultural. 1 month ago I was in Vojvodina, and I can compare Vojvodina with Bessarabia because you have the same. You have several governmental languages, and everything is so. It's a true diversity. Yes, if you want to see diversity, go to Vojvodina or come to Bessarabia in Ukraine. And it was so similar for me. It was. I know that the tolerance in Vojvodina is so high level,
Yes.
but still, how Serbian people and like how to say more European culture people accept Roma people, yes, and how it's this connection between them.
Yes. Okay, it's complex. Complex question. Okay, much better than before, I don't know, 15 years. One Roma woman in my other film said, in the past we are too bad for white people community, and today is my friends, Roma friends, asked me jokingly, like, do you really know why we Roma people don't want to marry with you Serbs, and really why? Because you don't have money. you don't have much money. Yes, it's a joke, of course. We live in okay, harmony. Yes, everything is mixed in one way. So it's much bigger problem is economic class. You know, that's the point of misunderstanding and everything. And the Roma people in the past and now got in its culture Roma people and non-Roma people. And non-Roma people they call Gaja. That's for unique for the whole world. And Gaja sounds like a man who doesn't deserve our beliefs. Da, Gađa je stranac, znači to je neko ko ne zaslužuje naše poverenje.
This is somebody who doesn't deserve the trust. Yeah. Also, one moment. This woman, the main hero, she said that I don't have a problem to say my cigani, moje cigani, like to use this word. And in Serbian, it maybe doesn't have such bad meaning. And also in Bessarabia, we have a lot of Roma communities in Izmail, in Belgrade, and they participated in our festival last year. They helped us to prepare everything for the edition. Really, a lot of children, they just come and ask, can we help you? Can we help you? They were so nice, and they don't have a problem with this word too. And I don't know why all world like forbid to tell this Tsigani, and in Bulgaria it's also like a lot of Roma people, and they said no, you have to say Roma, not Tsigani. What's the problem with this, and why the people that live with Roma people and Roma people as they are, they don't have problem with this word?
Yeah. Okay, word Tsigani is the Greek word Tsiganus. It means unclean. Something is fusion in that way. And many Roma people just accept that and like to call Tsigani. Nothing wrong with that. Roma people in the movie like to call himself Tsigani. But that Roma word is the part of the new wave, I can tell something. Roma people in the whole world is in the process of finding identity, and it's a process of transition. Yes. So word Roma sounds more acceptable. I don't know, something like that.
In addition to Tanya and you, in folklore text, we have only the word as gypsies, Tsigani. But if you are in the society and you say gypsy, people may say you that you are unpolite and only say the Roma people. So it wasn't
yes, gypsies is because the main group was from India, New Delhi, and it's 18th century. And one group moved to Egypt, and that's gypsies, yes.
So this is not about all Roma people, yeah?
That's synonym. Okay, it's like, but Gypsies is Egypt, gypsies.
Okay. The attitude is very difficult in Ukraine, and it may some stereotypes have been broken after the war when gypsies stole the enemy tank, and the situation has become more bad. I translated your film into Ukrainian for our viewers, and I liked it so much, so thank you. And maybe after your film, I believe that if you love, as our main hero says, if you love, all problems may be solved. So thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
I want, something happened with the microphone.
Please, if you have questions to, yeah, I see your hand.
Bojana, mogu postaviti svoje pitanje na hrvatskom ili na engleskom, kako ti je lakše, pa ti odgovore na engleskom. Zapravo imam, I'll ask the question in Croatian, so it's easier for him, and I will translate also, and he's going to answer in English. Ja zapravo imam dva pitanja. Prvo pitanje, to u filmu nije obrađeno, a mene zanima, kakva je bila reakcija njezine obitelji na ovo sve, poznavajući svoju okolinu, odakle ja dolazim, vjerujem da isto nisu bili najsretniji, pa me zanima to. A drugo pitanje, više ajmo reći neke tehničke strane, zašto ste se odlučili na ovu glazbu, na ovaj snažni bubanj? So I have two questions. The first one is, what was the reaction of her family? And the other one was regarding the music, why Bojan chose the strong drum throughout the whole movie. Yeah, that's it.
Nice questions. I'm coming with the microphone.
Okay, the first questions. Can I answer on Serbian?
Can you translate, come please?
Yeah, I can translate.
Yes.
Yes.
Možeš odgovoriti na srpski, pa ću
Da,
prevesti
da,
tvoj odgovor.
U filmu da zapravo nismo obradili taj deo, kako njena familija reaguje. Da, bili smo usmereni, prosto, ajde kažemo, to je deo koji fali. It's the missing part.
To vi smatrate da fali taj dio?
Smatram, ali mislim da je bio to naglasak, svetlo bilo na tome kako reaguje romska zajednica, jer, kažem, to deo serijala koji se bavi Romima i romskom situacijom. Tako da smo sve te suviše stvari koje bi mogla budu sklonile. Da, tako, to je.
So, this movie is a part of a serial, and it's a serial about Roma people, so they wanted to keep the story only from the Roma perspective, and that's why they didn't put the perspective of her family in the film. Yeah.
Da, ali bi bilo ipak zgodno vidjeti, makar na kratko.
But they also think that it's kind of a bit mistake. They did not put her family's perspective, because it would be interesting to see also that part of the perspective. Yeah.
Yes. Dobro, drugo pitanje je snažan bubanj. Pa mislim da je to deo uopšte folklora ciganskog. Mislim, ja nemam problem da kažem cigani, jer i oni vole da su cigani. Da, to je prosto deo njihovog folklora i zato ih vezujem. Pošto je film baziran više, kažem, na statičan je, dosta na intervju, na priči, mislim da je to bio način da se oživi i drži pažnja. Čisto jedno dramaturško sredstvo koje funkcioniše u celoj priči sa ciganima.
So, as for the second question, as for the music, because the film was made in interview style, and the Tsigani culture is really vibrant and dynamic, they wanted to pick up the story and make it more dynamic using the drums, plus the drums are a big part of gypsy music, so that's why they put the drums.
Do you have questions?
I can stay and translate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you have questions? More questions? Maybe you?
Cool, super, da, bilo je
Or some comments? Do you have?
I
hearing the story, so
Just a moment.
I feel that I don't have a question, but I loved hearing the story, so just thank you for telling it. I grew up in America, so I don't know that perspective at all, so it was really interesting to see it.
Thank you, I'm glad.
Thank you. This is the diversity we live in. Yeah. Thank you. Stay here, please, and we continue. Yeah, you can. And we move to Ukraine now. First of all, thank you for your film. I am a folklorist. This is my specialty, and Yarina also. And it's very important to when you translate the film to Ukrainian, for example, because we have online program also for Ukrainians, and we translated everything to Ukrainian. It is so important to translate it right. We had some films that really was hard to translate because of these specific words and also accents. This woman, main hero, she has this accent, and also the music, and also everything that puts you in this atmosphere. I'm so sorry you can't understand the whole deepness of this music and the accent, because it is another level of understanding if you know the language. And that's the problem usually always when you translate something, you know, cultural, because this is about sense. But still, tell me why this song and what did you want to tell through this song? And thank you again, Irina, for all translations that she did, because she made it perfect in the you know, the best way, because she is a folklorist also.
Hello everyone. Also I want to say thank you for invitation and your festival. It's my first ethnic festival at all. So answering to your question, first of all, my music is I think I put it for underline, as you say, this type of dialect, because I made it in 2018, and I was 19 or 20 years old, and in this time I started to realize that everything what surrounded me in Ukraine is important, also my roots. And when I first used to listen to Bracha, yes, it's soundtrack of the film, I realized it's something like my soul and soul of my roots and my father and grandmother who were relocated from this area. So I just use it for underlying the atmosphere in my film for foreign people, most of all.
So no specialty, like just you liked it.
Of course, when I try to choose this, they have really have a lot of different songs. I just use this folk one because it's like it was something from our another centuries, this text, and they just recovered that, and also because it's like I like it, and my not visual language, like form of the film, just for that, also for emotion.
Somehow, as I understood, you are connected with this land, with this village. Tell me the connection and how you come to this topic. If you are connected, it's clear, but tell me about this more.
Of course, my father, actually, all my family of father side, they were relocated from malih. It's not too much small village, but it's near the Pripyat, and of course they were evacuated from this region. And all my life I listened to about this region, about this tradition, also Polisa language, because there is some kind of dialect of Ukraine, and also when we watching right now this film, we also have funny because sometimes I really asked what she said because it was something like, I think she means this one, but it could be something another one, and it was funny for me, but also I opening something new about my family, about my roots, and yeah, it's a story about my grandmother and my father, and it was a nice journey to visit this area at the first time. So yes, we actually, in the first day, in the evening when we came, we put out our camera, even did not ask anyone, and start just film it, and there was, Nina and Alexander, her son, was shocked, and after a few shots we just, oh hello, my name is Adelina, my mother, my grandmother is Olga, oh I know her, is our connection started in this way. Actually we also have DOP Mariana Klein from Poland. It was her first traveling to Ukraine, and it was funny because it's like 3 young girls. Also, it was another DOP in this film, Bogdan Borisenko. We came in 3 people. It's first young girls in this village, like in the last 15 years, and they were really shocked about us.
Wow.
And the house that he showed to you or to whom and said that this was your house, like a house of your parents.
It depends because unfortunately house of my grandmother was destroyed also because there are really a lot of fires, and we just found another house of somebody from my family. It's not like my mother of my father, it's, I don't know, sister of my grandmother, something like that. But they were also photos, and it was also, you know, when you sit on this chair and you realize that somebody from your ancestors sits there, and it's nice feeling also.
Also prepare your questions, but yeah, why? Just a moment. I have one question about the name. Why the name is strange for me? Not strange, I understand it, but why? Why this name of the film?
Okay, about the title. Actually, in Ukrainian it's called Zirka Boleni, in Polish Gwiazda Piorun, in English it calls the warmest star. Because in the Bible we have some story about blowing up, and in Ukrainian also folk culture. My father told me a few years ago, before this film, about that this naming of this whole region where was catastrophe, and Chernobyl catastrophe, and after that in people who used to live there, they call this region the warmest star fallen down there, and it was blown up, like Chernobyl.
Yeah.
And it's like similar in their meaning.
I'm coming for the question.
Yes, thank you so much for making this film such an intimate personal portrait. I just have a tiny question from the detail that you just mentioned. The protagonist picked up the film in the house. What was on that film, and was it there all for decades, or did you bring it with you, that roll of film that he picked up?
I have a few questions in your one question. Okay, if I understand you correct, you asked me about these photos. Yes, I pick it to my home in Kiev, and I save it. Actually, it was editing trick. We found it in the school. It's something like for projection about math or Ukrainian language, but of course it fits the best like my grandma's photos. It's not, but about it's just one question or some. Okay, thank you.
Okay, do you have more questions or comments? I am coming.
I might have missed the explanation, but I was wondering, with all these fires happening? Is there an explanation for that? Or are they arsonists that are starting them, or are they accidental?
That happens every year, like they okay.
Yeah, it's really an interesting situation, and I also wanted to put it in the film, but I also have an aim to make it shorter. So, about these fires, the Chernobyl forest, it's one like the biggest after Carpats forest. It's one of the biggest forests in Ukraine, and the
Fireman.
okay, it's so hard word. The firemen just make, and their women, wives, make these fires for extra salary for these firemen, because in this region they just stay in a Pripyat they have a station, in Chernobyl they have station, and you know, you have more money for doing your job more regular. So it's strange, but they make in this way, yes, money.
More questions? Yeah.
What was your biggest obstacle for the film? Because it was, of course, very complex, and where you were and stuff. So what was the biggest obstacle?
In this film, or I mean, okay. Yes, first of all, these fires. It was hard to shoot it in this reality. I will be honest. I can't be with my DOPs in this day because the smoke of the fire were everywhere, and it was for me really dangerous in this time. I was in not good health of my health, and another one is the roads in Ukraine, because this region, most of these cities and villages were evacuated. People were evacuated, and of course roads I mean that they did not exist anymore, and we went by our something like jeep, and it was awful roads, and yes, it's another one. What else? Also editing, we had really a lot of footage of that film, and it was really problematic to make story, and I thought before that it's story more about Alexander, her son, but of course the most empathy we have to Nina, to her, to his mother, yes.
More questions? Yeah.
I was really touched by the film. I thought it was really beautiful, and it really sort of explained something that you don't get to see a lot. I was wondering what your experience was like actually being there and sort of meeting these people. Like, how did it feel for you?
You know, it's something incredible to know in first time my not parents, I mean close people of my family, and they know a lot of about my family, and it was touchy. They even know about me, about that I birthed in Mariupol, and it's really a long destination from this region, and they know about me when I say my name and my name of my father. They're, oh, that's you, and just scan me. Okay, and welcome. It was really interesting experience, and I'm really glad to be filmmaker for doing something like that, because unfortunately, if not my film, I suppose I will never visit this region, and unfortunately, I have never to visit anymore, because when this region was occupied in this spring, occupants just destroyed by shelling two houses in these villages, in all the villages, and Nina is died, and Sasha is disappeared, Alexander is disappeared, and yes, unfortunately, now it doesn't exist. So yes, it's really a big part of my life, also in this period when I was younger, to make it something also for myself, for this part of family, and it's nice.
And for memory of Chernobyl, because and
Yes.
how it's continued life there on this land. Yeah. More questions? I know Irina has. Yeah.
I don't know whether it is accidentally or it is with special purpose, but you can see how are they connected. The third film, I wanted to know who I am, and the film of Adelina, to know our roots, to know where we are from. My colleges had made some expeditions to Chernobyl region, and they they told us how these people who still stayed there, they need so communication, as Nina said.
Yeah.
I am younger than the catastrophe in Chernobyl, but when I saw this film, I thought about those people who must leave their territories. And only a few days ago, we spoke with Tatiana about war, and we tried to imagine the situation when someone said you to leave your house where you are from and to collect your things in one bag and leave because you must evacuate, how it's difficult. I had a question whether you was able to record some other stories, but I had the answer to this question. Thank you for your film. It is really very nice.
Thank you very much. I also understand that unfortunately stories to be continued, and yes, it's unbelievable. And also my family were relocated wisely, first of all from this region and after the Mariupol, and it's hard to realize that it's our reality, and we are really live good before everything dead. So yeah, слава Україні.
We just to add, you know, we Ukrainians, and I think most of you too, we so love our land, and I can't imagine now in Mariupol, if you were born in Mariupol, you lost your house twice, your family. For me, these people are heroes, because I can't imagine the house of my parents can be occupied or we have to live. Yeah, it's true, we were traveling to Poland and we were talking with Irina about all this pain that we have now, that we are passing through. One is that we lost our people every day, and second, that we lost our houses, where our roots is, where our identity, where our memory is saving. This is so important for us, and when you move to some different place, like a lot of refugees now are in Poland and in many different countries, I can't imagine how hard for them it is, because you are nobody there. And we have a lot of discussions and visualization of these feelings, and everybody of them said the same, that we feel ourselves that we are don't live, we are in the middle of nowhere. We are just waiting for something and we don't know what we are waiting for. Sure, we all want Ukraine to win and to come back home. And we hope you can come back to Mariupol. Beginning of this film showed when this archive
footage, yeah, that they are crying and they are saying goodbye. Unfortunately, no reason, no matter what is the reason. Yes, the same situation now in occupied or frontline. Briquette, it's so symbolic because we want you to gather these briquettes to make another films, to submit it to our festival and to build the wall of culture and of your dream, of your career, of your life. And also, one more symbolic thing. Craftsman who made this briquette, he is now a soldier of our army and he is on front line. And when we make a design before war started, we just make one briquette for, to see how it is, and we left it. Then he was on the front line and he couldn't continue working on it. And I asked his wife to help me with this, and she started, but for making it till the end, he took a vacation from the front and come back home just to make it. So you can feel the warmth and the heartbeat of Ukraine in this briquette. And I hope you will bring it to your country and remember about Ukraine and about his work. Also, we will continue with another films, and we will have Ukrainian poetic film, Dovzhenko, about ancestors again. It's so old film. This is our classic. You can continue with us. Just make a registration as Camera Image asked for. And there we have a market with crafts, with souvenirs, and with our merch, like our t-shirts and socks and caps. You can see. All money we are gathering for the army, so for the supporting Ukraine. So if you want to have a memory about Ukraine, about our festival, and to support Ukraine in this hard period, just do it. And welcome to the next screening.
Thank you.
No, don't go. We have a session there with everything.